SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. The wait is over.
Let's get this thing started.
Go!
Hello, everyone. We are live for episode 99 of the In or Out Sports Debate. I'm your host, Drew Willingham, along with this week's special returning panelist. A man's been here one time, but made his impact early on within the first 50 episodes. He was here for, I believe, episode 37 to rock and roll with me. Now for the second time for episode 99. He is the main man behind the Real Wize Productions. Give it up for Will Otero, Mr. Wize El Jefe. Welcome back here, brother.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, looking forward to crushing this episode 99. It was a number that you specifically requested.
Yes, it is.
You've got a special person in mind that I know we'll get to here when we get to round 4 and discuss it for the By the Numbers segment. But speaking of numbers, speaking of good times here within this episode franchise, like always with every episode, we have to acknowledge the Vault of Fame.
Acknowledge me.
Man, you took me back. This is why this show was so important, and this is why I am personally validating and vouching for this show. If you are anybody in media, sports, professional wrestling, anything, you need to be on In or Out Sports Debate with my man Drew Willingham, because this has got to be one of the most fun things I've ever done in a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that there's the In or Out Sports Debate Vault of Fame, which you can find on these audio platforms here on Spotify, Amazon Prime, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Look it up here for your audio listening needs, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and SIRTOBA.com, where the struggle is real to be awesome. We are here for episode 99 with the man, myth, and legend, Wize El Jefe, as we are here on the road to 100 episodes. We'll be celebrating very, very soon. But tonight's episode is very important. It's brought to you by
SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
And you know, Wize, the great thing about, the Vault of Fame is it corrected me. You were number 38, not 37.
I was going to bring that up.
Hey, I corrected myself. I called myself out on that one. But hey, that's what's great about the Vault of Fame. It gets us started. But speaking of getting started,
Let's get ready to rumble.
take it into round one.
Round one.
And here with round one. This one, a topic that Wize knows very well when it comes to his New York Yankees. And the season has been full of dire straits, and they are in need of an overhaul this offseason. How do you feel about this one? Do you agree with the statement at hand? Or are you
in.
Oh,
Yes, my boys are looking horrible. And then we didn't really add anybody at the trade deadline.
nope.
We added a middle reliever from Chicago, and I think that's it. We didn't improve our lineup in any other way. We can't produce runs. We can't score runs. Nothing. There's nothing they can do. So, first of all, I love Anthony Rizzo, great player, but it looks like he's just digressing every day, every game. Don't get me started on Josh Donaldson. Only bright spot has been Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's been the only real good thing for the Yankees this year, because not even Aaron Judge, because he's just coming back from an injury. Even though before he got hurt, he was on his way to having a great season, but his toe got derailed, and so yes, we're definitely in need of an overhaul. We definitely need that lineup needs to shift, man. We got too many right-handed bats in that lineup. Not enough lefties. Teams are dominating our righties. We need to switch it up, man. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. I'm in on this as well. All right, people.
Let me talk to you.
When it comes to this situation right here with the New York Yankees, a team that's usually used to being number 1 or 2 at the top of this division in the American League, and you are at the very bottom, looking like you're playing like a bunch of dumpster pelicans out there on the field. And you got some big names. You spent money just like you always do, shopping around for the big name. Well, the big name is screwing you over right now because you got Anthony Rizzo, who looks like at the end of this year will be gone as well. And it looks like you could be missing out on your chance to move him and get some things in return, whether it's cash or some prospects or some draft picks or whatever the case may be. Then you got other pieces around you. You just spent all this money during the offseason for Aaron Judge, and you're trying to build something around him. But when you invest in the big man, we've seen this before with the Angels and Albert Pujols in the past. You invest a lot in the big man for the future, and they usually let you down just to go somewhere else and to have a great last year, just like Albert Pujols did when he went back to the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, Aaron Judge has been with the Yankees' entire career. So the chances of him going somewhere for that 1 year, very slim. But when it comes to having a good team around him, you really don't right now. And that's not what's known for the Yankees team. When you've got teams like the Baltimore Orioles at the top of the division, now you have to at least give it to Baltimore because they spent all those years towards the bottom. They had great draft compensation, and they were able to build a great farm system, which is paying off for them today, which is why they have the lead in the division in the American League. When you put it all together, the Yankees, who have spent all this money over the years and investing in the big free agent or getting the big golden goose during the offseason or trade deadlines or whatnot, which you didn't this year, like Wize brought up during his take, and you spend all this cash during the offseason, but you don't invest in your future with the farm system, it comes back to bite you, and it's biting you right now in the 2023 season, in my opinion.
Well, I can't say they're not investing in the farm system, because they have some real great players down in the farm system they're just not ready. Like, we got the Martian down there, Jason Dominguez. I'm sure a lot of teams called about him. We have another future shortstop, and Roderick Arias, that we signed from the international pool. We got Spencer Jones, who we drafted from Vanderbilt, who's a left-handed Aaron Judge, supposedly. So we've invested. That's one thing I can say. Brian Cashman has not really given up top prospects. He's been really consistent with how it's at the major league level, where he keeps investing in players like Josh Donaldson, and you bring in players like Anthony Rizzo. who are at the tail end of their career, and you're hoping that they can get some spark of what they used to be, and it's just not happening. Yes, you get Harrison Bader, but he's another player who can't stay on the field. Like, he's in 1 week, the night he's out the next week. Left field, we don't have anyone. We had Aaron Hicks. We release him, and he goes to Baltimore and starts producing over there. It's a lot of different things that are happening. Jose Trevino, we lose him. Carlos Rendon, we lose him for the first 2 months of the season. Injuries happen, but it's how you bounce back and to me, Brian Cashman has not done a really good job on that aspect. Might want to consider changing stuff at top. Aaron Boone might have to go. Listen, I'm a realist when it comes to the Yankees. If things need to be changed, things need to be changed. I'm not like these delusional Dallas Cowboy fans that every year is their year.
Yeah. Absolutely. Every year is the Cowboys' year, and every year in the first round of the playoffs, when they get thumped, we get to say this.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yes.
Sorry, Cowboy fans, but
listen, I already started like my cousin. He's a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, and he started it. He started with the memes. He started sending me messages. So I started my own meme wars, and I just post two memes about Dallas on Facebook. Yeah. So it's on. The season is to begin. It's already August. Game on Thursday. Football season is upon us. My Yankees suck, so it's time to move on.
my Atlanta Braves are not sucking.
Your Braves are really good. Your Braves are really good. You got
really
one of the best players in Ronald Acuna. You got fantastic pitching. You awesome first baseman. Austin Riley's dynamic. You got some. Listen, I know baseball, and I'm a Yankee fan, yes, but I am a baseball fan. At the end of the day, I am a baseball fan. I pay attention to the teams and what they're doing. I'm not into it like I used to, but I still do my little reading here and there when I find an article that's interesting. But I'm a baseball fan. I enjoy watching the Braves play. Tampa Bay, I love watching the Rays play because they play baseball fundamentally. They manufacture runs. I've always enjoyed that about Tampa Bay. That's what Baltimore's doing now. They're playing fun, energetic baseball, producing runs. They're not just hitting home runs. They're producing runs. That's what the Yankees of the late 90s, early 2000s, that's what they were known for, was producing runs. They didn't have they had Tino Martinez, yes, but they didn't have the big boppers like they did. They had players that hit for average, learned how to hit the other way, manufacturing runs. So it's hopefully they can work on it and get it going. But hey, like I said, I'm on football season.
It's almost there. It's almost there. And speaking of playoffs and being out of it, and we were given some shade on the Cowboys for a minute. If only this clip would have happened in Cowboy Blue.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Absolutely. Let's see what the fans got to say here for a second. We do have a few comments starting off. Melvin's in the house, says, hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up, Melvin?
What's up, Melvin? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you joining in. 1 away from 100. Yes, sir. We are definitely very close to in 100, and we'll announce who will be in that episode here later on in this show. Definitely throw some fire emojis there as well. And followed up, well, the Yankees will win it all this year, guys. Come on, Melvin.
Stay off the weed.
Some people it affects terribly, and I think this may be the case. I think it just might, because when you're sitting here after everything we just said, you just posted this within the past 2 minutes as well. So I know you were listening.
I think Melvin was kind of joking. I think he was being sarcastic.
Yeah, good, because I was about to throw this out there.
Would you please shut the hell up?
But I'll take it all back. If you were just joking there, Melvin. We'll let it slide on this one. But guys, keep those comments flowing throughout the rest of the rounds. We got a little bit more to cover. Let's go ahead and take it into round 2 and see what we got in store for that as well.
Round 2.
And here for round 2, we talked a little bit of Yankees baseball. Let's talk a little bit of New York football, but in this being the New York Giants. The Daniel Jones will continue to improve and have an elite year at quarterback for the New York Giants. How do you feel about this one, Wize? Are you in or are you out on the one?
I'm in. And the reason I'm in is they've added so many different weapons now to Daniel Jones. Like last year, they're gonna talk about, he only threw 15 touchdown passes. Okay, if I would have had that receiving core, I would have probably thrown 15 touchdown passes too. That receiving core was horrible. But now you add Darren Waller, when healthy, one if not one of the top 3 tight ends in the NFL.
Yep.
You go and add Jalen Hyatt in the draft, who against Alabama scored 5 touchdowns. You go get him in the 3rd round. You get a shutdown corner in the 1st round in Deonte Banks. 6'3", phenomenal speed, got everything you need in a corner, and especially in the defense Wink wants to play. You get the center, if not the best center in the draft, in the 2nd round to help improve your line. You add Paris Campbell from the Colts. You add Aaron Gray from Oklahoma in the draft pick, a 4th round pick. They've filled the needs. One of the biggest ones was getting Bobby Okereke from the Colts. That helps solidify that linebacking core for us. So they've made this things to help improve the team, but I really think they've helped the offense with the moves they've done to open it up for. I think in year 2, Daniel Jones is going to be opening up that playbook more. Listen, call me crazy, but Dable has done. He is a phenomenal coach. We've seen what he did with Josh Allen. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is Josh Allen, but Daniel Jones is talented. He has the arm. He had 770 something rushing yards, 7 rushing TDs. He had a pretty good year, man. And now with some weapons by his side, I really think he's going to be able to do what he's fully capable of.
Well, Wize, for the first time on this episode, I disagree. I'm out. Before I break down my predictions for what's going to happen within the first half of the season, I got to at least bring it up his numbers over the past 4 seasons as he's played in the NFL. Now, when this past year, he did okay, like you said. He had 3,205 yards, 15 passing touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, which means he protected the ball. He's gotten a little bit better at protecting the ball. He threw 5 interceptions, the fewest of his career, okay? Previous year, he was 10-7, okay? So he only had 3 more touchdowns than interceptions. The year before that, 11-10. Holy shnikes, was terrible. But you look at his first year that he played, 2019, 3,000 passing yards with a scrub wide receiving core, just like last year, as you had mentioned. 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, had an 87 passer rating. Now, this past season, he did have a 92.5 passer rating. But like you said, if Darren Waller can stay healthy, I'm projecting that the freaking Giants, through the first 8 games of the season, will be 1-7. They will be 1-7. And I'm going to lay out those games right now, Wize. I'm going to lay them out for you. First game of the season, Cowboys at Giants. That game, they are going to win. They're going to win that game at home. They're going to beat the Cowboys at home. The second game of the season, they're going to travel to Arizona, and play the Cardinals. They're going to lose. The third game of the season, they're going to travel to San Francisco. They're going to lose. The fourth game of the season, they're going to hold the Seahawks at home, who are coming. And they are going to lose there for a third straight game. Then they're going to travel to Miami, a team that if Tua is healthy, and what they built around him, they got Tyreek Hill as well. They're going to lose there too. So that'll be 1-4 at that point. Then you go to Buffalo. And Buffalo and the team that they've built, of course, look at what they've done over the past few years. They're going to go to Buffalo, and they're going to lose too. Then they're going to come back on home to a team. They're going to host a team that barely has a name. And that team is the Commies. But you look at what they got in their ownership. You look at what they got, and we're going to talk about them in the final round. You look at what they got in the ownership. They got a proven NBA champion. They got a proven champion in Major League Baseball. They got a proven champion in other sports that he's been an owner in. And they're going to beat the Giants there, too, in the Meadowlands. They're going to beat them. They're going to beat them. And then they're in the same house that they share with the team they're going to play the following week. It's going to be the Jets and the Giants. And Aaron Rodgers is going to smoke some ayahuasca and show up, and he's going to beat the brakes off of Daniel Jones. He's going to embarrass them. They're going to lose again. Then on top of that, you play the Raiders. That game is where you're going to lose. I mean, no, you're going to snap the streak, and you will be 2-7 at that point in the season through 9 games. The Giants will suck this year. The coach will have a sophomore slump as a coach, and that is what I'm talking about. That is my point. Daniel Jones is going to suck.
Oh, man. I want some of what you smoke, my man. Oh, yeah, because none of that, any of that is none of that's happened. None of that. Like, you are really disrespecting my team, man. Like, you really 1-7? Seriously?
Yes.
That's not happening.
1-7 is
We're
happening.
much better than what people are going to give us credit for. And you're going to start putting some respect on the Giants' name this season. They're going to be better than 1-7. They're going to go and beat some people that you mentioned that, okay, yeah, 49ers got a great defense. Who's quarterbacking again?
Brock Purdy.
Who?
He might.
Who? Snowman could be, Brock Purdy. Listen, this is year 2. He has shown me again he can do it in year 2. He hasn't, like you said, Daniel Jones had a great year his rookie year. Had a pretty good, solid season. And yeah, they have a great, right now, Nick Bosa is not there right now. Holding out. They ain't paying him his money. There's a lot of circumstance, man. I can't believe you really think Washington are coming to MetLife and win.
Hey, okay, so
With
it's
Sam Howell.
The 49ers.
With Sam Howell.
Sam Howell's coming. He's coming.
Okay, whatever.
Just like Dion said, he's coming. It goes to the 49ers. Maybe the Giants win there, and they'll be 2-6.
No, we're gonna be more than 2-6. You'll see. We'll see.
Let's see what the fans.
We're gonna be surprised.
We got Corey Mann throwing the fist up. I think he's definitely tuning in, but I don't think he agrees with me on the Giants because he didn't say anything about the Giants. So we're not going to say that you stuck up for me. But hey, I had to make things interesting. This is a debate show. We can't agree on everything.
I'm not saying you have to agree, but 1-7.
Hey, I'll proudly display this clip if I'm wrong.
You gonna be wrong. You're gonna be wrong. And then I'm gonna be like, yo, you need to go back to that episode and you need to retract your comments from that episode. You're gonna have to put a disclaimer and everything. You're gonna have to be like, listen, I messed up. I said something that was inappropriate. Listen, wait till it happens. I will remind you. Don't worry, buddy.
All right, so Brock Purdy sucks is the next one that pops up. How do you feel about that one? Hey, I always say this.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, to the no, no.
I don't think he sucks, but I might have given him a little bit too much credit. We'll find out here in about 6 months.
We'll see.
Well, we'll know within the next 6 months. The next 4 to 6 months, we'll say. Thank you guys for the comments, for throwing them in there. Had to throw some interest out there. Before we go into a commercial break, I'm going to go ahead and give some breaking news that we have for next week. And that breaking news is going to pop up right this second. That breaking news is this. In or Out Sports Debates episode 100 is next Monday, August 7th at 8:07 p.m. Eastern Time. Kyle Nash and Brian Snow, the Snowman, join me for a trios episode for episode 100 for the In or Out Sports Debate as we go live next Monday night. And guys, we got a commercial break. We're going to go ahead and take real quick. We'll see you on the other side in about 2 minutes.
SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
And now a word from a non-accredited sponsor. This episode of the In or Out Sports Debate is brought to you by Peanut Butter and Jealous. When you're feeling a little blue based on what others are doing around you, spread a little peanut butter and jealous on your sandwich to make yourself feel whole again. Yeah. But hey, that was last year. And what did he do? He was out.
Right. And now he's in.
But he's been out for an entire year. It's not, you can't think he's going to make the same impact that he did before he was suspended.
I'm telling you, he won't have to.
What?
See how
Is he going to keep his phone down and not make bets?
Come
on, man.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look. Hey, stop playing games. Y'all already know. Go ahead and toss him some Willie Bucks. Ain't nobody playing around. Hey, $ D Willie 87. Go ahead, hit him up on the Cash App and go ahead and give him some Willie Bucks. Look at Drew looking stoic, ladies and gentlemen. Stoic on that $10 bill. So go ahead, slide my man over some Willie Bucks, and we good. That's all I'm saying. We good. How about some Willie Bucks?
SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
This one we will take to some NBA action here. Talk a little Boston Celtics action with Jaylen Brown's contract extension will end up crippling the Boston Celtics' future success. How do you feel about this one, Wize? Do you agree with the statement here? Are you in or are you out on this one?
Is it going to hurt their success?
Yeah. I mean, this contract, look at that contract, man. Do you think it's going to cripple their success or not, or no?
I'm going in on that one, yes. Well, first of all, you just paid Jaylen Brown the most money in the NBA, and you have Jason Tatum coming up next summer. So I could imagine what Jason Tatum is worth since he is your best player. Somehow these two need to coexist because they're both dynamic players, but no one wants to be Mike and no one wants to be Scotty. Well, they need to learn how to be that way. One of them needs to learn how to be Mike and the other one needs to learn how to be Scotty. They're both great players. but they made it work. These two need to make it work somehow. Is it going to cripple them? Yes, because now you got to pay Jason Tatum that money. And what are you going to have for the rest of your team? What kind of bench are you going to have? Who you mid-level exceptions for everybody? Like $300 million is a lot of money.
A stupid amount of money. You don't even have a championship with them yet.
No. And like I said, I'm not saying he's not worth the money, Melvin. I'm not. Listen, you got to get it. You got to get all that. Listen, if they're going to give you the bag, I'm not saying don't take it.
Don't make me seek Pennywise on you.
No, I'm not telling you not to take the bag. I'm more than happy for him for the bag. But it's going to hurt the team because now you got to pay Jason Tatum.
I like that wordplay. Every Pennywise. And don't make me seek Pennywise on you. Speaking of, while we're going through comments, my man Dio's in the house saying episode 100 will be fire. Yes, it absolutely will. And this episode right here is fire as well. Episode 99 most definitely is. And that PB&J commercial gets me every time.
It is funny.
It's all about keeping them entertained, my man, while getting the message across. But with what Wize said, I got to agree on this. I'm in as well. $300 million.
Acknowledge me.
Absolutely. $300 million.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I'm speaking it loud and clear. I don't know how much more clearly I can speak it when it comes to that much amount of money. And you don't have an NBA championship from this guy already, I could understand if in the past year or two you'd made it and won both, or at least one of them. But yeah, you did get to the finals recently, but still anything that's happened from the pandemic on, I don't count because it's just a different game of basketball. It just feels different. It is not the same. Things have evolved and gotten more pacified over the years. And then with everything that's gone on since the pandemic, the game doesn't feel the same. Still rule changes every year. But the one that I'm looking forward to seeing this upcoming year, to seeing how it affects, is the flopping rule and see how that goes. Because you have people like LeBron who overflop. But that's not a part of this discussion right now with round 3. What we are talking about is Jaylen Brown's contract potentially crippling the Boston Celtics' success. And yes, when you are paying $300 million for one person, this goes for a very similar conversation that we had last night on episode 98. We were talking about the LA Angels, and now you have 3 people in Rendon, Trout, and Ohtani that accumulate for about half of your payroll. That's just 3 people. And then when you got one person here with a $300 million, I don't know the exact percentage, but he's at least 10 to 12 to 13% of for the NBA's team, known as the Boston Celtics, in that contract status for that team. He's got to be at least. And that's just way too much for a player that hasn't delivered you a championship yet. Okay. When I think about other teams like the Miami Heat, who, they've been guided to the finals for, twice out of the past 3 seasons. You got to at least maybe pay them a little bit more. When you got someone like Jaylen Brown, who hasn't been there as often, hasn't developed as much, and has let the team down more as far as early exits in the playoffs than other teams such as the Heat or the Bucks, which the Bucks have a championship easily. And you think about everything that they've been through. Giannis isn't even getting paid $300 million. Why are you going to pay Jaylen Brown that kind of money?
Well, because they think he's worth that money. And listen, I don't listen. If I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm taking that money. I'm not going to say no. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not worth it. But as far as the team goes, it's a lot of money. Are you going to have enough money to invest on role players when Jason Tatum comes? Because I know you have to sign Jason Tatum. You're not going to let him go for nothing.
Time will tell. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of moves they make there in Boston and how much this affects what kind of moves they can make, because there is a cap.
Well,
$300 million is a lot to account for.
Listen, they traded this Marcus Smart. They brought in Kristaps Porzingis, and they extended him. So you just extended Kristaps Porzingis and Jaylen Brown. And again, next year you have to pay Jason Tatum.
Oh, you got to. But Do you pay him more than Jaylen Brown?
Huh?
Do you pay him $300 million too?
You have to.
How can they afford $300 million contracts?
They're gonna have to figure it out. They better call somebody.
Yeah, they'll have to get some help from China or something, because I don't know how they're going to be able to afford all that kind of capital coming out of there for two people. For
Listen,
just two people.
listen, Boston is one of the most valuable franchises in the NBA. So they obviously got the money. And obviously the cap space has got to go up if they're offering $300 million contracts. We're talking baseball money here.
If you as
I'm
the
saying
Boston
this is
owner,
baseball money.
yeah, but if you as the Boston Celtics owner pay $300 million to two different players, I feel like within the next 3 seasons, he's going to do this.
You're tripping about the whole situation. Let me get my husband on the line.
Okay.
Big 21, big 25 with. Big 25. I got one run.
And just straight desert the team and let somebody else pick up the tab, because that is what's going to happen if you pay $300 million to two people. Melvin says they will let Tatum go and then they will win a championship. What do you think about that?
Melvin got some good stuff, man.
Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, to the no.
Because
that's what we're saying, Melvin. Hell no.
That's not happening. Please let Jason Tatum go.
Yeah, they're not letting Tatum go, Melvin. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it's not happening. I just don't see how they're going to be able to afford two $300 million contracts. But I guess we'll see how that goes. You know, we'll have to bring this back up when this happens. When they sign for the Tatum for his extension, Wize is coming back on at least by then, and we're going to debate this topic again on how in the blank they're going to make this work. Because I don't see it happening. But hey, he says it will. I will debate it again. But guys, we've gone through 3 great rounds. Let us know here in the comments how you're feeling. We're going to go ahead and take this into round 4 and discuss a little by the numbers action.
Round 4.
Here for round 4, Warren Sapp is the greatest athlete to ever wear the number 99 in all of sports history. How do you feel about this one, Wize, with your allegiances and ties to the city of New York? Do you agree with this statement, or are you out?
I'm out.
Get down.
And it's not because y'all think I'm going to say Aaron Judge, because it's not Aaron Judge.
Oh,
there is someone by the name of the great one, Wayne Gretzky, number 99. He is the greatest to ever wear that number. I don't care who says whatever. He is the greatest to wear that number. He wore it as a Ranger. So, yes, number 99 is the greatest, the great one. Just listen to the name. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, is the greatest number 99 of all time.
Wize comes up in here with just straight confidence, oozing about, thinking that Wayne Gretzky, the great one, can just waltz up in here and take this number because he has the name the great one. And you know, I have to disagree with this statement as well when it comes to Warren Sapp, but not for what you think. And actually, it is for what you think. I got you, because I was going to say the great one too and talk about Wayne Motherfather Gretzky, because as the great one, he played for 20 damn seasons in the NHL. for 4 different teams from 1979 to 1999, nicknamed the Great One, as Wize alluded to, has been called the greatest hockey player ever by many sports writers, players, the Hockey News, and the NHL itself, based on extensive surveys and hockey writers, ex-players, general managers, and coaches. Gretzky is the leading goal scorer and assist producer and point scorer in NHL history and has made more career assists than any other player has in total points. He is the only NHL player to have a total of over 200 points in one season, a feat he accomplished 4 times. In addition, Gretzky tallied over 100 points in 15 professional seasons, 13 of them consecutive. At the time of his retirement in 1999, he held 61 NHL records, 40 regular season records, 15 playoff records, and 6 All-Star records. Not to mention the Stanley Cups that he won when he was with the Oilers. So when you put it all in perspective, there's not even much more that I can say, Wize can say, debate when it comes to the number 99. Now, there have been some great ones that have worn the number. And, not to have the name the Great One, like the Great One in Wayne Gretzky, but there have been some close to great ones to wear the number 99. Or decent ones, we shall say. You got to think about Aaron Donald as number 99. When you think about ones to wear 99, is he the greatest? No. But when you think about ones who've worn 99, you think of Aaron Donald, Super Bowl champion. You got to think about JJ Watt, who wore 99 in his career as well. And of course, like you brought up Aaron Judge earlier, but the one that I wanted to throw the curveball in tonight was Warren Sapp, because Warren Sapp is a Super Bowl champion. Warren Sapp was an anchor and a staple for that Tampa Bay defense that won that Super Bowl. That took that ship away from the Oakland Raiders, and they had old Chucky on their side as their coach for Tampa Bay that year as well. So it worked out in their favor offensively because you had Brad Johnson as your quarterback, and Chucky helped make him look elite for that one season. But it was all kind of like the Legion of Boom for the Seahawks, where that defense was anchored, and it wasn't just all Warren Sapp; he had other players around him. But when you think about dominance displayed by a man who's representing a number, you have to go with Wayne Motherfather and Gretzky.
Listen, Warren Sapp is one of the greatest defensive tackles of all time, and I know that I will not take that away from him. But like you said, look at the records Gretzky holds. I don't think anyone in any sport holds that many records.
Now, some of them have been broken. There's some of them, but he still holds some majority of those numbers.
I'm sure no one's gonna eclipse his points for a season.
No, or the consecutive ones that I read off as well. I mean, those
13
that's tough.
13 consecutive seasons of 100 points. It's crazy.
And the game of hockey is much different than any other sport because of its physicality.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have great stamina. You got to be able to take and then when you think of the football side of it, because of the impacts, you got to be able to take the impacts too at the G forces you think of when you're like racing and go-karts and stuff. It's very similar in skating because of how you can glide across that ice and you're just and that momentum going, and people have, you got to be one tough SOB to take those impacts and do that for 20 years. Okay. In NASCAR, when you get old, you're just gliding around that track. You're just happy to be there. When you're in your 20th year in hockey, you are still getting checked up against the ice. You are still getting the blank knocked out of you. And your 20th year, you are the Great One. You are the Iron Man of hockey, like Cal Ripken is the Iron Man to baseball.
Yeah, no, it's no doubt to me. Number 99 is the Great One.
Absolutely.
When 99, even though I did it because I love Aaron Judge and 99, but for my previous experience here, and we did what was it, Kurt Schilling? Was it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, because we did have 38. Yep, and we had Kurt Schilling, and that was a tough one for you as you being a Yankee fan. I know you gave me a hard time about it afterwards, but hey,
there was some great 38s, but I guess but Wayne Gretzky is always to me is number 99. That's him and And this character, he's not even a real person. He's a movie character, but Wild Thing Ricky Vaughn.
Yeah, the haircut and coming out there, the Wild Thing song. Yeah, definitely. And Charlie Sheen in the real life was a wild thing as well. It still is. I can't say past tense because he's still here, but even on episode 38, when it came to Kurt Schilling, you definitely
Acknowledge me.
You definitely did when it came to Kurt Schilling. And on this one, you did the same thing for Wayne Gretzky. We both agreed on this one as well. There was no debate. We basically agreed. I just supplemented yours with some more statistics with it to kind of help it out. But other than that, we both agree here for round 4. Let us know, guys, here in the comments how you feel about that. Other than that, we're going to go to one more commercial break, and then we'll be back for the final round to discuss a little bit more NFL action. We'll see you guys here on the other side.
SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
And now a word from a non-accredited sponsor. This episode of the In or Out Sports Debate is brought to you by Peanut Butter and Jealous. When you're feeling a little blue based on what others are doing around you, spread a little peanut butter and jealous on your sandwich to make yourself feel whole again. Yeah. But hey, that was last year. And what did he was out.
Right. And now he's in.
But he's been out for an entire year. It's not, you can't think he's going to make the same impact that he did before he was suspended.
I'm telling you, he won't have to.
See how is he going to keep his phone down and not make bets?
What?
Come on, man.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look. Hey, stop playing games. Y'all already know. Go ahead and toss him some Willie Bucks. Ain't nobody playing around. Hey, $sign DWillie87. Go ahead, hit him up on the Cash App, and go ahead and give him some Willie Bucks. Look at Drew looking stoic, ladies and gentlemen. Stoic on that $10 bill. So go ahead, slide my man over some Willie Bucks, and we good. That's all I'm saying. We good. How about some Willie Bucks?
SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Welcome back to a show where we have just as many commercials as a TNT broadcast. The Sports Senseis Unleashed.
I hate you, Joe.
SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Welcome back to episode 99 of the In or Out Sports Debate. Myself and Wize Jefe are back as we go into the final round of the show. And in this one, we've got some NFL action. Let's see what we got for this final round.
Final round.
And for the final round, the Washington Commanders will win a Super Bowl at some point during the new ownership tenure. Speaking about your Giants earlier, and I did not say in 2023, but during their ownership tenure, how do you feel about this statement at hand, Wize? Do you agree? Are you in or are you out on this one?
I'm out of this one.
Get him.
Okay, first of all, Sam Howell. Like, he hasn't shown any. I'm hoping if he has a great career, God bless him. But he hasn't shown me anything. He hasn't proved anything. Yes, you have Scary Terry, great receiver. You have a couple other great receivers on that team. The running backs, you have some pretty good running backs. Yes. You now have Eric Bieniemy as your offensive coordinator, who's actually going to be making calls, going to be calling the plays. But again, Sam freaking Howell. That's what I got to say. He's not a proven commodity. So yeah, that's not happening no time. So not while he's the quarterback. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this might be Ron Rivera's last year in Washington. I think they set him up to fail, and Eric Bieniemy takes over next year.
You're thinking too much about today, tomorrow, and next year. And I said the entire tenure. I disagree with you. I'm in. Because you think about Dan Snyder's tenure, he was there for almost 25 years. He was there for 23 years. They were hellacious 23 years. And this ownership group will not bestow anything close to what Dan Snyder did. They're going to be a great ownership team. They're going to bring in great resources. And yeah, you might bring in a great point about Ron Rivera being gone this after this 1 year. He might move into the front office. They might elevate him up. Just kind of like what Bruce Arians has done with Tampa Bay. Has that helped Tampa Bay out? Not really, but it might help out the Washington Commanders because they'll change their name. I hope it goes back to the old name like Snowman keeps telling me on our show, the Sports Sensation Unleashed, but it's not going to happen. They're going to change to a different name. It's going to be better than the Commanders, but they're going to change it, okay? But every single team that Magic Johnson has been a part of, they have won a championship at some point, whether as a player or as an owner. They have won it all at some point, even in baseball with the Los Angeles Dodgers, even in women's sports that he's been a part of as an owner. You look it up, Google it. It's true. It's happening. It's happened, and it's going to happen again. It's going to happen in Washington. It may be 2038 by the time we see it happen, and they can go through 16 different name changes, probably just one more, but they could go through 16 more maybe. Probably just one more. But hey, I'm just saying. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. New ownership tenure. The old guy's out. Dan Snyder's gone. That dark cloud that's over this franchise is starting to dissipate. It's starting to go away, just like the clouds on the other side of my room in Wize during commercial breaks. Okay? But anyway, put all that aside. Put all that aside, and you think about the talent that's there. And I know that you're going to throw shade at Sam Howell like you did, and other people are doing it too. But the one game that he played last year they won 27-7 over the Dallas Cowboys. Now, of course, they're not real competition. And we've already just talked about the woes of the Dallas Cowboys, okay? But when I put everything into perspective, this team, just like Colorado, is coming, and they're coming. They're going upward, not downward. They're not going, they're coming. And they are going to do something special out here in these streets. First time I've been able to say that all episode, out here in these streets, that's two. But right now, when you think about the Commanders, and think about what they're doing at training camp, think about the excitement that's at training camp. There's a lot of excitement at training camp. There's a lot of excitement in this fan base, within the locker room. You can feel it. And when you're having fun at work, you produce. When you're not having fun, doesn't matter what talent you have in the locker room, you're going to implode at some point. You got to be bought into the system. And for once, in the while that I've been covering this team professionally, and then as a fan before all that, this is the first time in my lifetime, at least, well, since I've been an adult, that I can remember this team being bought in and being excited about something. Will they win a Super Bowl this year? Probably not. Will they have to get another quarterback? Maybe because some of you just don't want to invest into Sam Howell. But had you invested in Sam Howell last year and not into Carson Wentz, and you invested in Taylor Heineke last year and not Carson Wentz as well, and you invested it into the offensive line around them and some other pieces like you did this offseason, you might have had more success than what you had the past season and not play like a bunch of dumpster Pelicans the last couple weeks of the season.
Oh man, listen, I'm all about the NFC East, which we call the NFC Beast.
Yes,
and I would love to see Washington back to their glory days, because that's when football was great, when we had the Giants, the Redskins, Commanders, my apologies, Eagles, with Reggie White and Randall Cunningham, Dallas Cowboys with Troy Aikman, Adamson. That was a great division, man.
It was.
And we had my Giants with Parcells, LT. It was a great time, and I would love to see that again, that renaissance with all those teams performing well.
It'll be interesting to see if that ever comes back to that. We had something almost close to it if we would have had all 4 teams make the playoffs last year, which we had a chance to have 3 of the 3 wild card teams represented by the NFC East plus the 1 division winner for the first time in history since they changed it in the expansion of the playoffs not too long ago. So
yeah, it could have happened.
It's going to happen at some point. It'll just be cool if our division is the first one that does it.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens going forward. We got some more comments. Looks like Melvin's back with the comments. Says Rod Beck was the best to wear 99 in his book. Do you remember who Rod Beck is?
Yes, closer for San Francisco Giants.
Yes. Rod Beck played for a number of teams. I remember he played
Boston Red Sox.
In the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
He played for the Cubs for a little bit.
Played for a few, yeah.
Yeah, the Padres. Yeah, I just pulled him. Yeah, those are the 4 teams: the Giants, Cubs, Red Sox, and Padres. The Padres is the last team he played with this for the last 2 years. But he's a 3-time All-Star from 93, 94, 97. And the NL Rolaids Relief Man of the Year award when they had that. I remember that back in 94.
Yeah.
But Rod Beck passed away, I remember, in 2007. Basically, he overdosed on cocaine and heroin.
Wow.
That's what happened. Yeah, just got a quick read up on that. And so Melvin, I'm not sure why you would choose Rod Beck as your best. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but when it comes to ranking them professionally, I feel like Wize and I are on the right page when it comes to picking the great one, Wayne Gretzky, at that one, and not going with Rod Beck. I'm sorry there. Who wins the Tribal Chief match at SummerSlam, Roman or Jay? Have you been keeping up with this, Wize? How do you feel about this?
Oh, man. I want to say Jay. But I don't know if they want to take the title off of Roman just yet. I think they're trying to set something big for WrestleMania and Roman. So I don't know if Jay is going to win it. I just feel something's going to happen, and Roman's going to maintain the title.
I mean, just like he has for now over 1,000 days, we're going closer to 1,100 days now as he's been the undisputed Universal Champion or whatnot. Melvin Turismo also comes in with Willie Bucks. He loves the commercial. Says, ain't nobody playing around, with the laughing emojis. Just like Darrell said in episode 95 of this show, I had to chop that into a commercial just because the way he said it, it was just epic. Commies will win it all by 2025. I don't know about all that. It's a little bit of a stretch there, Melvin. Wize basically has no faith, but will they win it all by 2025? I don't know. Will it be with this name? I don't think
2035.
So. I said by 2038 earlier when I was in my rant. So, yeah, Wize has helped me out a little bit there. 2035, I'll accept that. But it will be under a different name. I will at least say that. And then we'll have 4 different names for the franchise within a 5 to 10 year span. By the time they change it again, we'll be able to say. But yeah, that's wild. But when it comes to SummerSlam, I'm kind of with you on that. I feel like Roman Reigns is gonna keep this championship. I feel like it's gonna build something big for the upcoming WrestleMania. They could be potentially with him and The Rock. So, but guys, this the first. This is all the rounds that we have here for tonight. Before we close this thing on out, we're gonna go ahead and acknowledge something, and we've got to acknowledge that Wize has made it again in the Vault of Fame.
Acknowledge me.
That's right. When it comes to the Vault of Fame, Wize Jefe has now made his second appearance. Two-time Vault of Fame inductee with that episode 99. He is now tied with 5 others for 2 appearances here on the leaderboard. We're going to have to get him some more appearances so that way we can move him on up this ranking at some point, as you can find these episodes on SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. We only have one more thing left to do before we go into the outro, and that is go to the final word. You know the deal there, Wize, when it comes to the final word. Out of everything we've discussed on this show or just anything in sports or entertainment in general, what's on your mind, my man? Go ahead and let us know here with the final word.
Oh man, like I said, Thursday is the first preseason game. NFL season is upon us. I'm excited. I can't wait for the season to kick off. I got a bunch of fantasy football leagues that I'm a part of, so I'm excited for that as well. Hopefully, I can get some W's and bring some money home. But I just really want to thank Drew for having me on episode number 99. This is a blast as always. Drew has phenomenal energy. I love collaborating with Drew because he just makes it so exciting and gives you that energy to go on all night. But thank you, my brother, for having me on. Greatly appreciate it. And definitely got to have you back on Stuck in My Mind soon. So
yeah, I look forward to it, my man. You know, he's bragged to me a couple times in the past. I'm not sure how it is now, but I know how you told me before. At one point, it was like one of the most viewed episodes that you had, or whatnot, probably like in the top 5 or something like that, which meant a lot to me. Which means a lot for the people that follow me, you know, on the different platforms that transitioned over and watched it for you too. So I made the mention of it on my show that it was happening. They came on over. Plus, your people liked it too. Maybe it is the near homeless looking man with the long hair and the beard. Maybe it's something with that. I don't know. Or like you said, the energy. But I appreciate your kind words as well there with that. And I'll take this into my segment when it comes to the final word. And when it comes to that,
Let me talk to you.
Absolutely. It is that time for one final round of shenanigans when it comes to certain bronze sexuals out here in the street.
You should know your role and shut your mouth.
Just like I said earlier on the Sports Sensations Unleashed, I went to the gas station the other Father's Day. Just the gas station, wearing a Michael Jordan t-shirt, an old school one. Going into the gas station to pay for gas. And I'm in there, and this bronze sexual, who apparently is infatuated with LeBron James, happens to come up to me and said that it is messed up that I'm wearing my Michael Jordan shirt because LeBron is the king, and with everything going on with Bronny, you cannot be rubbing it in the face that Jordan is the GOAT, and that I'm a relic of the past. Well, you know what? I may be a relic of the past, but I'm a relic of the facts. And the facts state that a 6-time NBA champion with all of his MVPs, who did it with one team, 2 different three-peats, deserves to be labeled as the GOAT. LeBron had to get his 4 championships with 3 different teams and 4 different teams within those 3 different teams, each and every year that he won, and went to the championship finals 10 times and only won 4 of those 10. Tom Brady, yeah, he went to 10 championships, but at least he won 7 of them. So I have to give him his flowers when it comes to the quarterback of football. But when it comes to basketball, it is still now, and it may forever be, Michael Jordan until somebody else enters the league on a clean slate and does something similar to what Jordan did. But it's going to be tough because the era of basketball is so much different. And I know some of you out there who are bronze sexuals are saying,
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, to the no.
But you know what I got to say?
You can't handle the truth.
Now,
Acknowledge me.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on, Stone Cold, fired up.
What?
Oh, you know it.
What?
Sammy's starting to get pissed.
Say what again? Say what again?
Absolutely. So the last thing that I have to say to that guy at the gas station,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
when it comes to your analysis of the greatest of all time in basketball, and just because picking on me with long hair and a Michael Jordan shirt, you, when it comes to your analysis of basketball,
Yeah. Fire.
absolutely. Now back on some non-shenanigans. I would again like to thank Mr. Wize Jefe for being here this evening and thanking me for my energy. I do my best to bring it out here. You know, I've had some setbacks in 2023 that I'm overcoming and still working on, but the one thing that hasn't left is the passion and the drive to make this show better and to improve each and every week. And I believe then the best way possible, I've done that. And even Melvin says that with great show, fellas, and thanking us both for what we have done with this episode 99. Thank you for sticking us, Melvin. You know, there were a couple other comments from some others as well, but you stuck with us throughout, and we definitely appreciate the constructive criticism of certain things. There were some things you said that were far-fetched, especially the Yankees winning it all, okay? You know, this year. Even Wize, as a Yankees fan, was not even buying on that one, you know, so you got to watch it on that. But other than that, we appreciate your viewership throughout this show. Guys, we have had one great episode 99. Make sure in the links down below for all the platforms, you got Wize's platforms. You can go check him out. If you haven't subscribed to him yet, make sure you click that subscribe button. Other than that, we only got one more thing left to do, and that is look at one somewhat of a badass outro. My man, Wize Jefe.
Hold on. I got a question before you leave, though.
What you got?
Like, episode 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you gonna do the numbers? Like, you usually do sports athletes. Like, who has number 100?
Well, you know, that's a very good question, and I've actually put some thought into this when it comes to episode 100. You know, we didn't start doing the by the numbers until episode 17. So I technically could do who was the best to wear 0 or 00 all the way on through number 16. And then if I put enough thought into it and make sure that nobody has a repeat episode, like, you know, whoever had 17 last time isn't on 17 this time, I keep it going.
Okay.
So, but I'm thinking about at least maybe doing it until episode 16 to make sure that I can have 100 episodes of by the number segments. I don't know. I may kill it after this episode. Who knows? Anything can happen in a week. I could die tomorrow. Who knows? But all we know is that we have made it through 99 episodes on this show. But that's a good question. I may just clip this part out just for at some point later just to show what we did from that point forward. Guys, 99 is in the books. We've only got one more thing left to do, and that is look at one somewhat of a badass outro. From a man, Wize Jefe, to my side right here, I am D. Willie Drew Willingham. Everybody stay safe out here in these streets.
SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.